Welcome back to the channel, welcome to this week's video, and welcome to what is a French year abroad cycling special. Now, as you'll be able to tell from later on in the video, I had two choices for the route today, and as you can see from the description, or the title of this video, I picked perhaps not the highway to hell, but definitely a cheeky little bridle way into the underworld. So, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. I love making these videos, and despite the suffering, I really enjoyed this ride. Comment if you have any questions or you just want to tell me how loopy I am, and subscribe for more year abroad content. Enjoy. It is the night before. I am prepping my bike. I'm just putting some new chain oil lube on the chain because it's starting to make a bit of a racket. I'm going to fill up my bottles, put my bike computer on. This is but a small fraction of the food I'm going to be bringing. This is full of food. Got my mini pump, my lights, because I want to leave slightly early and I do want to be safe, even though it's going to add some weight to my bike. I'll get over it. And I'll also have a couple of bananas in my pockets because it's going to be a long day out. And I think I will only be able to stop to grab food twice, once after 50k, once after 80k, because it's a Sunday, so everything closes at either 12:30 or 1 p.m. But yeah, I'm very excited. It's going to be a long day out. And I'll also get all my kit out as well, just because it'll make everything easier in the morning. I think the hardest thing of the day will be getting my bike upstairs once it's finished, but I will keep you updated. Here we go, leaving about 10 minutes later than I wanted to. It's 6:38, that's all right. The only things up are the cats. I've just spent a nice morning listening to music, eating my brekkie, doing the things I needed to do to get ready to go, and waiting for my course to load on my bike computer. Have to say, not the start I was looking for. I've got my bike computer on battery saver mode, which means the screen goes off if I don't need it, and I did need it. Right at the start, within the first 10 metres, I went on a nice little exploration of Fort-Calquié's cobbled, essentially pedestrian streets. I mean, I'm sure in the olden days they weren't pedestrian, but in these days they are pedestrian. So that was kind of fun. And then I started going up the first climb of the day and went the wrong way immediately. But even in this sort of weird dawn light, the countryside is stunning. The moon is beautiful, so life is good. I'll catch up with you later on. I want to try and bash out some Ks before I update again. Here we go. Now that I've had my first pee break, it was a pee break with a view, by the way, I thought it'd be a good time to explain what I'm actually doing today. I'm riding out to MONT VENTOUX, which is one of the biggest climbs that they use in the Tour de France. And if I went direct there and back from Fort-Calquié, it would be about 155 kilometers with about 2,800 meters of climbing. But obviously there are different ways to get up MONT VENTOUX, and the way that would take me is not the classic one they use in the Tour de France. And because I'm a bit of a weirdo and I feel like a bit of an epic ride, my aim at the moment is to take a slightly different route, which brings me round to the side of the mountain that the pros ride up, and then descend down straight back to Fort-Calquié. And that takes the ride up to 180 kilometers with 3,500 meters of elevation gain. So it's kind of a big difference. And the plan is to do the longer one, but if I get to the split off point and it's like, ooh, I'm struggling already, or I don't feel like I can do the whole thing, I'll just do the at and back, because it'll still be a fantastic ride. I'll still have climbed Mont Ventoux. It's just my weird brain that kind of wants to do it like the pros. But all is good so far, and I'll catch up with you later. I'm about 35k in, and I think I've just had my first sight of Mont Ventoux. It's just over there. It actually looks very close, but I also know it's very far away. Feeling good so far. Got about 15k until the little village where I'm planning on chowing down a couple of pain au chocolat. It's absolutely freezing in the valley road this morning, the first bit of sort of light uphill I've been doing. I think it was under 10 degrees. That's what my bike computer was saying, and I sort of trust it because it was freezing. The first descent was sketchy as all hell as well. It was a really small road, bad road surface, gravel everywhere, speed humps in random places. At one point my bottle bounced out and I had to stop and pick it up. It was a bit crazy, but I survived and we plough on. Done. 3 pain au chocolat eaten. I was more hungry than I realised, especially for very buttery pastries with a little bit of chocolate. Now, I've noticed a dilemma with my plan in that I've done 50k, and if I weren't feeling good after 50k, I'd be really worried. So this is where I need to make my decision about which route to do. I'm going to do the long one. I want to do it. But I realised that waiting till this point, I mean, if I wasn't feeling good, then there would have been no point in even carrying on. I would have just turned around. So, yeah, but I'm going to head off now. Going to Bédouin, where I will stop in a supermarket to grab some things and get ready to go up the hill. I think it's another, how many K? Probably 30k there. And then I start climbing. So I'll keep you up to date. I've just left the boulangerie. Forgot to ask the lady to fill up my bottles, but I'll be able to fill them up in the next town. Starting on the second major climb of the day. It's about 7k long, 8% or so. Originally on the route, it took me off a minor road where the climb was a little bit steeper, maybe even a little bit longer because it descended first. So I moved it across to the main road. Still not that busy, just because I thought I'd rather not deal with super steep climbs at the moment, just before I'm about to do the Ventoux. Am I regretting that right now? I don't know. I did just see a group of cyclists head down that road, so it might have been nice to ride with them for a while, but oh well. We're plugging along. I'm going to put the phone away because I'm dying in a bit. I am in Flasson. It's a lovely little village. Just filled up my bottles. Yeah, it's actually really just very nice. I just descended down way too many meters. I was at about 1,000 and then yeah, descended down, which means, yeah, more to go up to the top. But that road was wonderful, very small. The road surface wasn't great, but nice descent with occasional views of Mont Ventoux. So I think only about half an hour to Bédouin, where I'm going to stock up with a bit of food. And then, yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm nice and fueled up. Had a Coke. Bought some sweeties because that's the last chance I'm going to have to buy anything from a shop. Bottles are full and the climb has started. 80k down, or 83k down, and just under 100 to go. Feels ridiculous. Already quite a few cyclists. I'm going to shut up and let the scenery do the talking. I'll check in every few kilometers to let you know how I'm doing. I've spent all morning trying not to try too hard so that I feel all right for this. But you never know what's going to happen, so let's see.
And at this point, I stopped having the energy to be able to record much scenery, so please enjoy the next few minutes of questionably hard breathing while I try and explain what is going on.
Hello. We are between a quarter and a third of the way through. It's been over 10% for the past 2.5 or so K. Thankfully, we've been in the shade. Been overtaking riders. Been overtaken by an e-bike. That was slightly annoying. And I'm getting scared watching all the old men descend down here at too fast speeds with no helmet. But oh well. Put the phone away because I'm dying. See you in a bit. Just over halfway through. 10K to go. Dead. That's all I'm going to give you. Bye. 2/3 of the way through. Bike computer says 23 degrees. Don't believe it. Gonna whack some Lady Gaga on. I am absolutely cooked. I've been at over 180 beats per minute for the past 45 minutes. It's taking its toll. Still overtaking people. Definitely not going as fast. I believe this might be Chalet Renard, which is, I don't know really, it's Chalet Renard. It's just a little thing on the way up. 6K to go from here, I think. Dead. We're at 1,400 meters of altitude. Absolutely cooked. Just ticked over 100K. 3.5K left on the climb. Views are fantastic. Still dying though. Well, I made it. The last ramp was disgusting. Feels like I'm gonna be sick. Why does it have to be the hardest at the end when there's no shade? Fill my bottle up, take a photo, head down. I'm absolutely dead. Don't know if you can hear me.
Despite really struggling in the last kilometre and having a bit of a sob as I climbed up the 20% ramp right to the top where the sign is, it was a really good climb and I was rewarded with some fantastic views. I did in fact take a photo, but I did not fill my bottles up because there was nowhere to do so. You had to pay a vast amount of money for a bottle of water. So I quickly chowed down a bar and descended down to Chalet Renard.
Slightly recovered now. I had a bar, filled my bottles up at Chalet Renard, so I've already descended a bit. I didn't want to pay excessive amounts for a bottle of water up at the top. Sadly, I got stuck behind a car on that bit. It's not the greatest bit of descending anyway, but I got past, so all good. Now I'm taking the slightly different route home. So we've got, how far? 70K to go. Brilliant. So yeah, this is the route I would have taken if I had been in any state. Well, no, if I hadn't wanted to do the sort of the classic climb. So I will catch up with you later. I believe I have cracking helmet hair again. I'm currently stopped outside where the bakery was this morning, but sitting on a bench outside a bike shop. I wanted to see if I could grab a salt tablet off them. They wouldn't sell me a single one, unsurprisingly. I've actually just looked at my snacks and they have enough sodium and potassium and magnesium in them. That should be all right. I'm currently chowing on a bar. Gonna absolutely destroy a packet of Haribos in a minute. I'm having a bit of an extended break because I am absolutely shattered. I think I got about 52K to go. So 130 done. The descent was really nice, really easy. Didn't have to think about much. Just had to follow the road, which was good. But yeah, I'm very tired. I'm starting to see salt coming through on my shorts. I don't want to look at my shoulders on my back. It's probably worse. But yeah, so far so good.
just got to make it back to Forcalquier now, take it nice and steady. It's getting quite warm, so no need to go nuts. I believe there's technically more downhill than uphill, but I bet it'll feel like there's more uphill than downhill. Yeah, so little summary of the climb. Death is the most suitable word to describe it. I'm sure I've said that many times. I think I managed to overtake about 50 people, approximately. And I think I only got overtaken by 4 different people. And I say different people because some people overtook me and then stopped and then overtook me again. And those 4 people were all on e-bikes. So I think they're great for getting people out on their bike and doing stuff like this. But I can't lie, it does slightly annoy me when one comes zooming past and I'm absolutely dying. I did overtake 4 e-bikes in turn though, especially towards the top where I think they were trying to preserve battery. But yeah, not the most beautiful climb on the planet, not the most fun. Essentially, the easiest bit is at the bottom, and then after that, it's about 10% all the way. So it's really not pleasant. I met some people from Newbury, actually. They spotted my Oxford t-shirt, Oxford University Cycling Club jersey, in fact, and it was kind of cool. We had a brief chat. I was desperately trying to keep my rhythm and not get put off, so I was sort of shouting back at them, and I waved it off. The guy was on the TT bike, so he must have been really pushing hard. There was something else I wanted to say. Oh yeah. I stopped once after about 2 kilometers for a wee, and then after that I did not stop again. Now I sort of wish I hadn't stopped for the wee, but if I hadn't stopped for the wee, I'd have been dying all the way up. So actually, it was probably a good idea. And part of me wishes on many occasions that I had stopped again, because it was really, really painful, especially towards the end. And in fact, my arm's about to fall off, so I think I'm going to end that mini recap here. And I'll see you with some updates momentarily after I've had my nice snack. $35k to go. Not feeling too bad. Also not feeling particularly sprightly, but we're nearly there. We're nearly there. Final climb of the day. This is that sketchy descent from this morning. Got about 8k left. 3 of those at this climb. It's pretty hard work. Oh, I'm gonna stop talking now because even though my legs don't hurt too much, my arm does. It's been a long day, and I'll catch you later for the debrief. Okay, time for the debrief. I have showered, I have eaten some things. I've put some moisturiser on because my face was dying, and some lip balm. It was just really hot and dry today. I'm feeling all right now. My legs are all right. My bum's not too sore. I think, yeah, it was good. I've got some notes on my computer screen, and I'm leaning my phone on it. So if I look above the camera, that's why. So this ride was a bit unique because I've never done anything like it before. I've done one ride that's longer, one ride that's almost exactly the same length, and one ride that's much shorter, but had about the same amount of climbing in it. So I had nothing to compare it to. The really, really long one, 250 kilometers, only had 2,500 meters of climbing in. That was a very long day, really hurt. So I didn't really know what to think about going into this. The 180 kilometer one was while I was riding in northern France to get to Italy. And it didn't really feel anything like that because I had heavy bags on there. It was a different kind of ride. And the shorter but with about the same amount of climbing ride was when I was crossing the Alps riding to Italy on the Stelvio day. And that was about 50 kilometers shorter. And that was more up, down, up, down. This was slightly more rolling beforehand. but still very difficult. So I really enjoyed it, and you know, good to have that new experience, good to tick off another one of the big climbs in Europe. Funny thing that happened from the ride, I would say, was I was going around a hairpin, and an e-biker who had previously overtaken me, who had stopped to have a drink or something, was coming past me on this hairpin, and he was sort of squeezing me to the side of the road, and this was on the inside of a hairpin. And as I got halfway around the hairpin, I realised it got very, very steep very, very quickly. So I obviously put on a bit of a burst of power to get up and round. And the hilarious thing is I think the guy on the e-bike thought I was trying to race him, because he ramped up his power and just zoomed off. I had no interest. I have not got the energy to do that at this point. But yeah, I thought that was quite good fun. Now, for those of you who aren't too interested in the stats or the nerdy stuff about the bikes and the bike ride itself, I would probably suggest you sort of stop there. I'm going to go through sort of the stats on the distance and the time it took and how high I climbed and what I ate and stuff like that. So if you're not interested in that, please do give this video a like. Comment if you have any questions or reactions. Sorry, there's a fly buzzing around to the ride. And do subscribe for more Year Abroad content. Thank you very much for watching. Now, for those of you who are a bit nerdy like me, I've got some stats for you. So the ride was 181 point something kilometers long. I did an average speed of 24.8 kilometers per hour, which I thought was pretty good. I was aiming for between 23 and 24. So that was a big bonus. I think I underestimated how fast I could go in the last 40 kilometers on sort of the very slight downhills that I had. So that gave me a moving time, the time I was on the bike and moving, of 7 hours and 20 minutes. And in elapsed time, the time from door back to door, including pauses, of about 8 hours, 55 minutes. So 9 hours, let's say. Big, long day. My bike computer estimated I burned about 4,000 calories. I'm not sure I put those back in, but you never know. I did eat a lot. So I'm going to have a massive dinner tonight, obviously. Stats for the climb itself, Mont Ventoux, from Bédouin to the top via Chalet-Reynard. The Strava segment that I have here says that it's 20.2 or something kilometers long at an average gradient of 7.7%, which climbs 1,539 meters to the top, where the altitude is 1,910 meters, so fairly high. To do those 20 or so kilometers, it took me 1 hour and 34 minutes. And that was a lot faster than I was expecting. I was expecting to be more around 1:45, maybe 2 hours. So I'm quite pleased with that. I think the gearing on my bike meant that I had to go that fast. I don't have the easiest gearing. It's not the hardest, but it's certainly not the easiest. So I just had to push to just keep moving. The average heart rate I held for that 1 hour and 34 minutes was 177 beats per minute, which is kind of scary. I think I've probably done something like that before, but it was just 1 hour and 34 minutes sort of effort, bike ride at 177 beats per minute. This was within another whole sort of kettle of fish, because I had stuff before and stuff after that effort. So now if I go into the food I ate before the ride, the night before I had a huge bowl of pasta. At lunch I ate sort of a potato salad, so lots of carbs. And then before the ride in the morning, I had a smoothie which was made up of 2 bananas, 2 peaches, some oats and lots of milk. I also had, to make sure I was properly hydrated, an electrolyte drink that also had about 20 grams of carbohydrates in it, just along with my smoothie. I then, on the ride, had 2 bananas that I brought with me, 3 pain au chocolat that I bought at the boulangerie, a Coca-Cola, full-fat, sugary, 500 milliliters before the start of the climb. I then had 2 of these cycling-specific bars. I also had a third cycling-specific bar. I can't find the wrapper of. I think, and I feel really, really bad, it's ended up on the road somewhere. I'm actually really annoyed at myself for not noticing that and picking it up. I also had 2 sort of cycling-specific gels, some cycling-specific sort of sweets, a fairly big bag of Haribo cola bottles, some Cliff Bar chews that they make, and what else did I have? That was it, I think, actually. Lots and lots of water. And I think eating that much with that many carbohydrates and sugars really helped me, towards the end of the ride, not feel as though I was falling off a cliff. My legs felt absolutely fine. I didn't feel like I was running out of energy or anything, so that's really good. The bike I used is my the bike, if I had a choice, I would race on. It's sort of my fastest and most modern bike. It's a Look 586 from approximately, I think, 2011. Well, I don't really know. With Campagnolo record 10-speed group set from, I think, 2007, 2008. I'm not sure. And Bora Ultra, again from Campagnolo, 35 clincher wheels from approximately 2016. That has been the latest upgrade to my bike. The gearing I was running, easiest gear was 34-23. So fairly tough, but yeah, it was really good. And yeah, as I said, no sore bum, so means I'm sort of sitting on it properly, which is ideal. If you have any questions about, I mean, I highly doubt there are many of you who have questions about this, considering this is usually a study type channel, about the bike setup or the clothes I was wearing or whatever. Do stick them in the comment section below. I really love cycling, so I have no problem talking about it. Just ask my parents. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Comment any questions you have, and subscribe if you haven't already. Stay tuned.